and welcome to another episode with the podcast guys. I'm Nando.
And I am Roberto.
So, what's today's topic?
So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 low-value behaviors in women.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
You know, I think women nowadays are kind of on a high horse. They're self-entitled. They're all over social media posting pictures. But, you know, there's a lot of talk about like high-value and low-value behavior in men, alpha males, beta males, what have you. But I think it's important to kind of break down what are low-value behaviors in women. What should guys watch out for in women? What are some traits that may be a turnoff for us where we have to watch out for? Because let's face it, we look for looks, but there are certain behaviors that are kind of red flags that we should watch out for. So you want to start us off with number 1?
Number 1, the ladies that let themselves go. They're overweight and they don't care about their looks. Now, think about this. Men look at women and judge them first off based off of their looks. It's the attraction, right? Am I attracted to her? Am I not? What determines that? Her looks, the way she looks, the way she dresses, the way she takes care of her hair, her face. Of course, women wear makeup, fake eyelashes, hair extensions. They'll go even further and have the BBL, the fake breast jobs, and it's those things that make women stand out if they take care of themselves, if they're beautiful, and if they don't. They are going to stick out in a negative way. If they're overweight, they're going to stick out negatively. They're not going to be attractive to the guy that they're looking for.
Why is being overweight a problem? Anybody that's overweight, and this is true for both men and women, and we're not talking about 10, 15 pounds. If you're like really overweight, 50 pounds, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, if you're like, you know, obese, right? That's a low value behavior. That tells me that you live a low value lifestyle. You eat junk food. You're not physically active. You don't care about your appearance. You don't care about your health. So at a very basic level, if you're obese, there's no excuse to be overweight. I understand that maybe some people have, a small percentage of people may have some kind of like, you know, health issues. They have a reason for it. But a majority of people in the U.S., I mean, compare us to other countries, right? The United States has the most obese people in the whole world. So if you fall into this category where you're overweight, that's a good sign that you have a low value lifestyle. You're eating a lot of fast food. You don't care about working out or dieting or like, I mean, if somebody even allows them to get to that point, that conveys to me that they just don't care about themselves and how they look. So that's why we put that as number 1, because any woman that's like overweight, and again, we're not talking about 10, 15 pounds. Sometimes women obsess over their weight too much. I don't want to send the wrong message. The idea here is not to be a stick. You don't want to be like this thin. It's okay to have a little bit of weight on you. We're talking about women that are clearly overweight. It's a big red flag. It's a low value sign in women.
Everybody looks different. Everybody's unique in their own way. And that's what makes everybody stand out, right? The thing is, though, how are you going to attract the high-value guy? You're not going to do that by being overweight, by not taking care of yourself.
You're not going to attract any guy. If you're overweight as a woman, I mean, guys are visual creatures. Like, what initially attracts us to a woman is how she looks. So if you're overweight, you're already shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, that's square one. The first thing you should have straight. Even if you're not the best looking, getting your weight to at least an average weight, something reasonable, is like basic, you know.
Let's not kid ourselves. It's no secret. Men judge women first based off of her looks. So if she looks unattractive, meaning overweight, of course she doesn't take care of herself. Her face, her hair, just the way she dresses, I mean, all the above. He's going to say, well, forget this woman. I'm going to look for another woman. I mean, there's so many out there. Why not? There's so many beautiful women out there. Why not? Why am I going to just deal with this one girl when there's so many choices?
Yeah, if you know, you see a girl that's like severely overweight, something's off there. You know what I mean? I nowadays I have no sympathy for like severely overweight people. It's really not that difficult to like just like I'm not telling you to go on some strict diet, but like just like watch where you eat. Don't just eat junk food and drink soda and like I mean working out I think should be standard for both men and women nowadays. You know what I mean? I think everybody should have some whether you're even if you're not into lifting weights like running, walking, some form of physical activity. So these type of people it conveys that you are obviously a low value person because being severely overweight, there's no excuse for it. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2, she's always on her phone. She's glued to her phone when she's with you. Ladies, guys don't like that. You want to be on your phone, that's all fine and dandy. But when you're on a date with a guy, or even when you're out with your boyfriend on a dinner date, you're out at a party, at an event, whatever the case may be, you're not always on your phone because what does that imply? You don't care about him. You don't care about giving him the time of day. So get off the phone, get off social media. Maybe he thinks that you're texting somebody else. Of course, we're going into possibilities. There's possibilities, endless possibilities of what can be going on because at the end of the day, with your phone, you have the world in your hands. So you have access to anybody and everybody. But when you're on a date with someone, you give him that respect. It's a respect. It's a mutual respect. He's not going to be on his phone. Guys, you should not be on your phones. But it's really the ladies that we're focusing on here and their behaviors and their low value behaviors. Don't be on your phone. It's plain and simple. Having it even on the table should not be an option. Even if it's upside down. Put it away. If you have it on, fine, but put it away. Keep it away in your purse or whatever the case may be. That's the problem nowadays. That's why one reason why women may have a hard time keeping a guy around is because they pay more attention to their phone and to what's going on within their phone because they're so addicted. It's an addiction that they forget the reality of what's in front of them.
Yeah, it's usually we're talking about the women that are like constantly on their phone. We're not talking about like you're checking your Instagram or something like that. Like, but women that are like constantly on their phone, they tend to be a little bit too into themselves. We're talking about like the women that are like constantly posting on social media and like everything's about them, selfies. Every time they go out to eat, they post a picture. They're on vacation. They're posting 30 pictures every couple minutes. If you're always on your phone, it's a low value behavior because that tells me. That conveys that you're just all about yourself and you're just looking for validation. Is another way to put it, right? What are they doing on their phone? If a woman's always on her phone, she's probably posting on social media and like just that conveys to a guy, if we're talking about dating and like attraction, it's a low value behavior because women that are constantly on their phone, it tells me that you're kind of like disconnected with what's going on and you don't necessarily care about other people or what's going on. It's all about you and your own validation. So to me, it's definitely a low value behavior and it may not necessarily be an overall deal breaker, but if you sense that early on that she's constantly like posting and like it's all about her, it's kind of corny and it's immature behavior and it's definitely a low value behavior.
You said it right there. I mean, it's disconnected from reality. It's narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
It's not connecting with the guy that you're with. I mean, don't you want a relationship with a guy?
I would say the only exception is like, again, if somebody's running an online business or you're making money online in some way, you're a social media influencer and you have to be on your phone for a business reason, that's different.
Something important.
But realistically, in these type of cases, it's usually just like, posting Instagram,
the thing is
just looking for likes and comments and it's just seeking, it's validation seeking behavior.
Seeking attention. If you're just on social media, just BSing, I'm going to post on Instagram, Facebook, or you're messaging somebody, the thing is that you're out with somebody else. You're on a date. Give that person the time of day.
It's basic respect, too. I mean, it's like basic etiquette. Like, I can't stand when, like, whether you're out with friends or you're on a date or whoever, you're at a restaurant or something and somebody's just doing this, like their face is buried in their phone. You're disconnected from the people that are with you. And it's like, it's kind of like indirectly disrespectful because you should really put your phone down and everybody should be kind of interacting. That's the whole reason why you met up to begin with. You know, checking your phone once in a while is fine, but like the phone should be put away in certain social situations. I think because it's just basic respect.
Sad thing is that not just on dates, it's the sad reality of what's going on within our society. Everybody is on their phones all the time. Of course, there's times when it's important, there's emergencies, there's business purposes. You have to be on your phone for specific reasons. Of course, we're not saying don't be on your phone, don't do your job. Some people, their livelihood is on their phone. They need to
100%. I mean, anybody that's running a business and you have to, you know, check in on it, or like, you know, you're running something online, you know, e-commerce, or you know, you're a social media influencer, you're doing something, anything that you have to check in on your phone. It is what it is. You know, that's just the world we live in. You're using your phone to make money. So,
but when you're on your phone, just BSing,
exactly.
just selfie,
We're really talking more about like social media, right?
Or
Like
texting. I look around, and whether it's at the gym or at some events or just anywhere in general, even at a job, phone, just focus, head buried down. There could be a crazy thing happening right in front of them, and they don't even realize because they're just on their phone the whole time.
another way to really look at this category is we're looking at low value behaviors. Aside from them always being on their phone, another way to look at this would be like any woman that conveys like attention seeking behavior or obsession with social media is a low value behavior. Let's move on to number 3.
Number 3, she's a game player. Do we like women that play games? Do men, because it's not about us, men in general, do men like women that play games? Hell no. When women play games, game over. You're single. You're single because you're playing with my time. You're playing with my money. You're playing with everything that is involving myself when I'm going out with you. When a guy is going out with you, again, this is not about myself. This is not about Roberto. This is about generalities. And in general, when you're screwing around with someone's time and money and energy and resources, you're screwing with his life. And as a guys out there, you don't want that because you're wasting what you have on someone that doesn't appreciate it, that takes it for granted. You want to look at that and really get that out of your life right away and get to someone that's going to take it, that's going to really appreciate that.
You know, unfortunately, that's really the dating culture now. Is game playing is like a part of it, and that's just a sad truth. You know, there's nothing wrong with like, I don't want to say playing games. Like when you're early on and like meeting a new person and you're kind of like flirting and you're kind of like teasing each other. We're not talking about that type of game playing. We're talking about like toxic game playing where you're purposely withholding attention or saying certain things to piss the person off to test. When it gets to that point where you're just playing blatant games to get reactions, to like play, you know, it's being done on purpose. That's when it's kind of like toxic behavior. That's definitely low value behavior. I don't think any like mature adult people do that intentionally. You know what I mean? Game playing to me is like, it's either a sign of immaturity or there's maybe you had some like past bad experiences where you're now playing games to like test a person. Little flirting, you know, teasing in the beginning, you know, it's kind of natural. It's a part of it. But any blatant game playing from like the females end, it's definitely low value behavior. And I don't think any higher value woman that takes herself seriously, that's mature, that's looking to date seriously is going to do that. I think that's like, I would expect game playing from like definitely women in like their early 20s. When you see a woman's like 30 years old or plus and she's playing games like that purposely and it's obvious to you, you know, that's a red flag for one, and it's definitely low value on her part.
I mean, the thing is that some women don't grow up. It doesn't matter the age. She can be 18, she can be 38, she can be 58. There's women that are 18, 19, 20 that are more mature for their age
100%.
versus women that are 35, 36, 37 into their 40s.
How a woman conveys herself is massive. It's huge. Like, when you, like you said, and it's funny how that works, right? People kind of they associate age with maturity. Like, oh, an older person will be more mature than a younger person. I know people. It's not always true. I know women that are in their early 20s that are well behaved. They have like a certain like culture to them, and like they act in a respectable way. And I know women that are like 30 plus years old that are acting like bimbo. So age isn't always even the factor. It's just how you convey yourself, how you carry yourself.
In the general public, we see it all the time. Again, the younger ladies, of course, there's a bunch that are mature. We're not saying they're not. They have growing up to do, 18, 19, 20 years old. However, there's women that are 35, 36, 37, 40s, like I said, immature. They haven't grown up. They're still in their days, in their mind, when they're acting like they're 20 years old, like they're 21 years old. I know women in their 20s, 26, 27 years old that act more mature. And then there's women 41, 42, 43 that act completely immature, completely irrational. And it's unfortunate because it shouldn't be that way. You would think it would be, logically, you would think that it would be more maturity as you get older and older, more wisdom as you get older and older. But it's too much BS and it's too much game playing.
The reason game playing is on this list, why is playing games low value behavior? Because playing games is a form of manipulation. That's why it's on this list. When a woman's playing games with you, what she's really doing is she's manipulating. She's manipulating the attention, the energy, the dynamics between you two. So if she's doing that purposely, and you identify that's definitely low value behavior, and I would watch out for that.
Here's a game playing aspect. Here's a couple. Mm-hmm. One of them is faking being busy. Now, if a guy asks you out, ladies out there, and you agree to go on a date or a dinner or whatever the case may be, hold that date. Keep that date, because the thing is that when it comes down to the day of the date and the guy texts to confirm, hey, is this going on? Are we good to go tonight? Are we good to go for 8 p.m. tonight? Let's say he texts like the morning of. And she comes around, oh, something came up. Did something really come up? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. So sometimes it's just one of those things where they want to get out of the date. But the thing is that, ladies out there, this could be a match for you that you didn't realize could work for you, and you threw it all away because you didn't give it a chance. There's guys out there that you say, well, oh, guys aren't asking me out. Guys aren't interested. Why am I single? Well, here's the thing. Are you giving it a chance? Are you giving it a fair opportunity? I'll be the first one to say there's guys out there that are full of crap. They will come at you with some nonsense. They're not worth it. I understand that. We understand that. It's not about that, but how about the guys out there that are worth it, that could give you almost everything you want? There's no guy perfect, just like there's no perfect women out there. But if you gave it a chance, you could have a blessing in your life. Another aspect that we didn't touch on are gold diggers. And there's many of them out there.
Yeah.
What can you say about gold diggers?
So this is a funny subject, because women will usually kind of take the stance and say, well, why are guys so concerned with gold diggers? You're not rich. You're not wealthy. Like, why would you care about gold diggers if, gold diggers, women that have a gold digging mindset, they will squeeze anything out of you. It doesn't matter. Like, I feel like women have this idea that in order to be taken advantage by a gold digger, you have to have a lot of money. No, that's not true at all. Women that have that type of mindset, that are just like, they're looking to like get whatever they can get out of you, that gold digger mindset, they'll get anything out of you. It doesn't matter if you make $50K a year or $200K a year or you're a millionaire. They will squeeze anything out of you, because they approach interactions with guys as, they look at guys as like, all right, what can I get out of this guy? Can I get a free date at him? Can I go to a fancy restaurant? Will he buy me a purse? Will he fly me out? They'll get anything out of you. And what's like a sign that you may be dealing with a woman like that? If it's only you putting in effort and spending money and you're not really getting anything out of it, and this kind of goes on over a period of time, that's a sign that she may be like a gold digger type of woman. You can also kind of tell based on how they're dressed and who they interact with. Like gold digger women, the funny thing about gold diggers is that they could be low value women, right? Gold diggers aren't always like high status women. Gold diggers could be like, I know women that are like ghetto that grew up in like poor families in a poor neighborhood, but they have that gold digger mindset and they're just looking for what can I get out of this guy? What can he pay for? What can he buy me? Can he pay my rent? Can he pay my car? Can he take me out to eat? So you have to watch out for that because and then this isn't all women. This is like a certain category of women that we're talking about, but they do exist and women are manipulative sometimes. So like you may go on a couple of dates with a girl like that and not really identify right away that she's like that.
100%. Before we keep going, guys, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, guys, on YouTube. We're on Rumble. We are on Instagram, Reels, and TikTok. We're also doing many shorts that we've done before we started.
Guests are coming soon. We have guests coming. We just right now we have two mics set up. We just got 4 chairs, 4 mics, and we're getting guests lined up for the show. So that's coming soon.
We have the whole setup coming. So we plan on having guests on. That's going to be sometime in the near future. So support the channel, guys. We're here. We're already taking the hits after starting not too long ago. We've already taken a handful of people have taken a handful of jabs at us. And again, we're here putting it out there because we want to help you out. So to continue,
let's go.
What's one of our next low value behaviors?
Number 4 on this list, and I think honestly this is really the worst one out of the 5. This is the worst low value behavior in women, period. Women that are confrontational, angry, spiteful, aggressive. These are the worst type of women for a man to get involved with, period. It doesn't matter. Casually dating, marriage, sleeping with, talking to, even being friends with. These are the worst type of women. Women that are like angry, that like have like a chip on their shoulder. And this isn't all women. This isn't even most women. Like this is like, I would say it's hard to put a percentage on it. You have to watch out for this because these type of women may be attractive, they may be not attractive, they may dress nice. They may have that initial kind of like feminine energy when you meet them. This type of stuff doesn't really come out right off the bat. Women that are aggressive and confrontational can also be feminine when they want to be, right? You know when this usually comes out? When somebody says something they don't like, or they're put in a situation where they're triggered. Anything could trigger these type of people, but when you see that behavior multiple times, you need to back away from these type of women because these are the worst out of all of them.
What guy wants to be around a woman who's pissed off all the time, who's angry all the time, who's confrontational, who wants to start some fight? No guy wants that. Guys want peace, especially once in a relationship or married, of course. When a guy comes home from work, battling the odds outside from the home, they come home, they don't want another fight. They don't want another battle, another war. They want a relaxation. They want a sense of peace, relaxation. And a woman can do that for them. But those that choose not to do that for their man or for their guy, the guy that they're trying to attract, well, I say good luck to you because that guy is not going to stick around for too long. I'll tell you that.
If you get involved with a woman like this, and this would be like more like simp beta male behavior. But if like let's just say you have a woman in your life that's attractive, but she has these like aggressive, like she argues all the time and she's spiteful and she'll just like give you a hard time all the time. If you get involved with this type of woman, you may say to yourself, well, she's attractive, so let me just stay around. Like I'll deal with her bullshit. Like screw it. Like you're just digging your own grave because these type of women, you will never win with them. You will never keep them happy. You will always be to blame. They will always bring problems and just like negativity into your life. You should avoid these. Come to think of it, you should just avoid these type of people in general, whether they're male or female. But seriously speaking, we're talking right now about top low value behaviors in women. This should really be number one, because there are women out there that are very attractive. They may initially seem feminine, but when these behaviors come out, you have to identify that and be like, you know what, I'm good, thank you, and that's it.
They'll fake it to get what they want.
Look, any woman could repress her like negative sides.
Yeah, and they'll fake it to get what they want. But once you find out that all they're doing is BSing,
stop the cap.
Ladies, don't cap, because eventually it'll come out in front of them all, right? Whoever you're trying to attract, if you're fake nice, and then all of a sudden you start dating, and maybe you get into a relationship, it gets more serious, dating, talking, and then into a relationship, serious, and then you start changing, that's not something that's going to last for too long. There isn't a guy that should accept that, but there will be guys that do accept that, because of the average men out there. They may think to themselves, well, there's a handful of things that this woman is giving to me, even though she's confrontational, even though she's angry, spiteful, whatever the case may be, I'll deal with that because I'm not enough to get a better woman.
Exactly. Don't ever have that mentality that like, oh well, she's hot, but she's a total nightmare in my life, but I'll deal with it because she looks good. It's not worth it. It really isn't, because like that woman I promise you, she will bring problems, unnecessary problems into your life. And you don't want to invite problems into your life just because she looks good.
And if you let it happen at the beginning, keep in mind it's just the beginning. It's just going to get worse.
Let's get into the last but not least, number 5, alcohol and drug abusers.
Guys don't want to be with women that do drugs, that smoke, that drink alcohol. Of course, on occasion, the alcohol is fine. You have a drink here and there.
Yeah, we're not talking about casual going out on weekends and drinking. We're talking about
this
where's
is
the problem?
Abusers
Of drinking
drugs,
every day,
alcohol, smoking.
especially hard drug users. You meet a girl that smokes weed. We're not telling you like don't talk to her. Or she drinks on weekends. We're talking about like, potheads, women that drink like during the day, any hard drug use. I'm not going to name them, but you know what hard drugs are. Any women that are using hard drugs, stay the hell away from these people.
It's just unattractive, and it's a turnoff. It's disgusting. Who wants to be around that? What guy wants to be around that?
You're opening up a few possible really bad case scenarios here. Number one, the most obvious one to me is like you're putting yourself in a position to have legal problems. You get pulled over and she has hard drugs in her car or anything that shouldn't be there. You could get arrested too, right? The cop's not going to care if it's hers or yours. Number two, you spend enough time around these type of people, and you're going to be around other people that do it. You're going to be pressured to eventually try it. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to be tempted or peer pressured or something to try something you don't want to do just because it's your girl or your girl's friends. And three, these type of people tend to be generally mentally unstable, right? If you're talking to a girl that's like an alcoholic, or she's like taking hard drugs, I promise you she's going to be mentally unstable in some way, shape, or form. She's going to be flipping out, crying one day, depressed, angry. She might disappear. Do you really need that in your life? And again, this goes back to like what we said about the last one. Yeah, these type of women sometimes are attractive. You could have a really good looking woman that has these traits. Don't deal with it. Don't bring that into your life. It's gonna drain you mentally. You could create real serious financial problems for yourself. We are almost out of time, so let's wrap it up. You want to close this out?
Yeah, so to close us out, guys, make sure you sniff out these low-value behaviors, and once you recognize them, if she's not willing to change, because at least give her a chance. Again, we're not saying no, absolutely not. Give her a chance to make up for her wrongdoings, but if she doesn't, move on, man. Move on. So on that note, we're going to close off. Thank you for watching the podcast, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.